So okay. So now if it comes to here, these glucose as well as amino acids and as well as fatty acids and glycerol, they are a small water soluble molecules. It is like a completely, they will dissolve in water. Small and water soluble molecules. So till here our digestion is completed. Almost a complete digestion is over. Now in this way the process of digestion.
Sir, can you explain glycerol?
Fatty acids will be converting into two substances. One is fatty acids. Fats will be converting into two substances. One is fatty acids as well as glycerol. Okay, ma?
Okay, sir.
So now these are the things is called as final product of digestion. Final product of digestion means in the sense of they are ready to soluble in water and they are ready to understanding supplied throughout the body. Means in the sense of next process will start called as what? Absorption. Understand?
Absorption.
So in this way, from the whatever we have studied from the yesterday, in this way, from the mouth to our small intestine, the process of digestion will be takes place, and this digestion converts the large insoluble food molecules, a large insoluble in where? Insoluble molecules. Where they're insoluble? Water. Do you understand, Emma? So large insoluble water molecules will be converting into small water soluble molecules. So the chemical digestion of food is brought about by biological catalyst, understanding, called as enzymes. So the catalyst which we used to call released by any kind of organs. So the biological catalyst we used to call as. So is there any catalyst which is involving in our stomach? Means in the sense of we can say all the enzymes till now whatever we have studied. So these all are the catalysts which will helpful in digestion of food. So that is why this is called as digestion is a chemical digestion or a chemical reaction, chemical process. So the catalyst, biological catalyst which is present involving in this chemical digestion is enzymes. So now our food is a complex insoluble molecule food is converting into small water soluble molecules. So with this the digestion process is completed. Understand? So now if digestion is over, what is the third step?
Absorption.
What is our third step?
Absorption.
Is having any doubt in this? Please ask me. Digestion is the
No,
biggest.
sir.
Now once the digestion is over, understanding. Next, absorption is very easy. So if it comes to here, so after digestion over, now where is the food? What is the location of food? What is the location of our food now? Digested food.
Small intestine.
Now.
Small intestine.
So now the food is entering into the small intestine. There the complete digestion takes place. Now complete digestion takes place. There is no complex substances. All are a simple, a small water soluble substances only present now. So if you observe here, then our third stage or else the third process of nutrition in animals will start. So that is only we used to call as jump. Who is the term? Absorption. Please unmute. Okay. So that is called as absorption. Understand? So if it comes to here absorption, we'll discuss now. So let us go to the absorption. If you'll observe, after digestion, the molecules of food become so small and that they can pass through the walls of the small intestine. Walls of the small intestine. So that they can easily pass to the walls of the small intestine. So means in the sense of these walls which contains the capillaries called as blood capillaries. These walls contains blood capillaries. Means in the sense of like this capillaries it contains. The walls is contained like this capillaries. I will show you the pictures. Understand? So the food is ready to go through this capillaries. Understanding? Blood capillaries which are present at walls. Understanding? Walls of our small intestine, and they will go into our blood. So through that only they will go into our what? Into our blood. That's all. So now this is only called as
So
absorption.
they contain in the sense small intestine produce blood capillaries.
Our small intestine, the walls they contain this blood capillaries. Means the sense of exchange of this food will be like a middle. Understand? Who can send this digested food through the blood? That is only called as blood capillaries. Understand? Or else you can say directly from the walls of the small intestine, the blood will go, so the food will go into the blood. So this is only called as, what we should call as absorption.
So the blood capillaries help the food to go into the
The
blood.
digested food entering into the blood. Understand? So the small intestine is the main region for the absorption of digested food. So the small intestine, especially here, the adapted, understand, it is adapted for absorbing the digested food. So the inner surface of small intestine has a millions of very tiny finger-like projections. What is I said like this? A finger-like projections. I will show you the real intestine and as well as this small finger-like projections. That is only called as villis. What we should call? What we should call?
Willy.
Understand? So our small intestine contains this like million, not one. It contains a millions of tiny finger-like projections. That is only we used to call as villi. So the presence of villi here, remember the presence of villi gives the inner walls of the small intestine a very large surface area. That is the use of these villis, because they are present in thousands of millions, understanding millions they are present, so that you remember if it is a straight line or else if it is a curved line, which is having more surface area. Which is having more surface area? Please kindly.
Curved line.
Which one? Curved lines. Because you can see here, if you draw the straight line, then this is all the extra part. Is it yes or no? Yes, that is the reason. So the small intestine contains, inner walls contains millions of villis. So because of this villis, understand, the small intestine has a large surface area. The surface area of large small intestine will be increases. And if it comes to here, because of this large surface area of small intestine helps in the rapid absorption, means in the sense of whatever the food is digested will be randomly absorbed by blood. Understand? So this digested food which will absorb through the walls of the small intestine directly will goes into our blood. So that's all. So now intestine part is over. Intestine part is entering into what? With the help of villis, the digested food is reached to where?
Blood.
Reached to where?
Blood.
It reached to blood. Now, can I show you the X-ray photo and as well as villis? Do you want to see the real photos?
Yes, sir.
So if anybody wants, you can see. So I will show you that original intestine as well as villis as well as the X-ray photo. All three I will show you. So you please kindly observe and remember, because in future you may be people entering into NEET or something. So definitely you should see, correct? So that is what. So if you'll observe, this is the real pictures of three things. Can you able to observe here? Can you able to see? Can you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Now you see.
Yes,
So what is
sir.
the first picture? What is the first picture? First picture.
Small and large intestine.
Is the small intestine.
Small intestine and large intestine.
Outside not. Yeah. Inside you are seeing the like a tube which is rotating like this. Is it yes or no? Randomly like a coil it is. Yes? That is only called as understanding small intestine. A small intestine. Understanding. So a big tube is present on the outer surface. That is only called as This is our big tube. This is a big
Large
tube.
Large intestine.
Large
And
intestine.
a coil-like structure which is present inside. It is only called as small intestine. Small intestine.
Small
And
intestine.
like you see rounds. Now, have you noticed it? This is a zoom picture of like a scanning picture of Willis. Have you noticed it here? Like a finger-like projections are there. Millions of finger-like projections at the walls. Have you noticed it? Yes or no? This is this finger-like projections only. Everything is one finger. It looks like a fingers or not.
Yes, sir.
So this finger-like structures, what we should call this? What we should call? Willis. So these willis are present in the inner surface of small intestine, not outer surface. Remember, the location of this willis is inner surface of small intestine. So what is the use of this? What is the use of this willi? What is the use of this willi?
Helps rapid absorption.
Absorbing digested food into the blood of a person. Understand, Amma? So through this only.
So where is the blood capillary in this image, sir?
What, Amma?
Blood capillaries.
Ma, this is only called as blood capillaries, Amma. This
Yes, sir.
capillaries.
But in the second image, the fingers are the villi, sir.
This name is called as willis. They are only the blood capillaries.
So both are same,
Capillary
sir.
means, according to the chemistry, capillary means rising like this. Like this structures is called as capillary action. Do you understand?
So then both are same.
Both are same. This is only. Understand?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now this is present inside the intestine. Now if you'll observe this picture, what is this picture? Can you able to see?
Large intestine, sir.
Ah? Is it the large intestine?
Large intestine.
No, Amma, it is the X-ray picture.
Small intestine.
It is the X-ray picture of our small intestine. Nothing is there. The X-ray photograph of our large intestine taken after the person had been given in a like X-ray metal. You know how to scan that X-ray. You people know that it has been a X-ray scanning. That is a large intestine only. You can see here. So inside small intestine will be present. So this is what absorption. So I think you have understand the absorption well, correct? So now absorption over. The food is entering into our blood with the help of understanding this willis, which are present inside the small intestine. So that is only we used to call it as what? Blood capillaries. What we should call? Blood capillaries. That is only known as willis. Understand? Then you understand now willi. So now willis is over. The function of willis is over. What is the next step? Absorption is over. What is the next step?
Assimilation.
Understanding. So assimilation. So if it comes to here, assimilation. So as we know that the digested food is entering into the blood now. So the blood carries this digested and dissolved food to all the parts of our body where it becomes assimilated, means mixed with as a part of the cell. So now this assimilated food is used by the body cells for what is the purpose? What is the purpose of this assimilated food? It will release, understanding, it will release the energy. Understand? So once this food is reached to our body cells, what this food, understanding, the energy they are obtaining, the cells for obtaining energy as well as for growth and repair of our body. That is what the main function. Is it yes or no? Growth and repair. Growth and repair of our body parts, it will be useful. So now the energy is released by the process called as, what is the process? Oxidation or reduction? Oxidation or reduction? Here what process will take place? Oxidation process or reduction process? Oxidation process. Oxidation process in the sense of what is that? What is that process name called as? What is that process called as? Releasing energy. What is that process called as?
Exothermic.
Exothermic. What is that name called as? Biological name? Respiration. Understand? So whatever this assimilated food by the cells, understanding, they will release the energy, understanding, by the oxidation of assimilated food in the cells during respiration. When? During respiration. By the oxidation, this food will release the energy. So this digested food, which is not used by our body, immediately stored in the liver, understanding, in the liver in the form of carbohydrate called as glycogen. That is what you should remember. This is a very, very, very important one. So some energy which is released in this respiration will be used by our body parts, understanding, for growth as well as understanding repair of the body and also obtaining energy. And the digested food which is not used by our body immediately, some food is useful to release energy and growth and repair of the body, some food is not used. So this food will be collected by a big organ in our stomach. Who is that? Liver. And these liver will be stored this digested food not in starch, understanding, it will be stored in the form of carbohydrates, which we used to call as glycogen, not glucose, glycogen. So actually the digested food is called as what? Glucose. Is it yes or no? Yes or no, ma? Small simple food it is glucose, which has been converting into glycogen in the which has help of what? Liver. So this stored glycogen can be used as a source of energy by the body as when it is required. Suppose when we few times when we are not taking sufficient food, when we are few times the food is delayed, then this glycogen which is stored in the liver, which has been again transferred to the body cells to release the energy, growth and understanding repair of the body. This is like a emergency supplier of food, understanding, in the form of glycogen. This is what you should remember, very important. So the food is stored, the extra digested food is stored as a glycogen, and it has been done by whom? Done by who is storing the extra food, extra digested food? Liver. So that is what called as assimilation. Now assimilation is over. What is the last one? Assimilation is over. What is the last one?
Digestion.
Digestion. Understand? So let us come to the digestion. So as we know that even though the digestion is taking place in mouth, digestion is taking place in stomach, digestion is taking place in intestine, still some part of the food which we eat cannot be digested. Understanding? Cannot be digested. Cannot be digested by our body. So this undigested food we people cannot absorb in a small intestine. Is it yes or no? So this undigested food cannot be absorbed in the small intestine. So this undigested food passes from the small intestine to a wider tube called as what? What is that wider tube? So it is not absorbed by the small intestine. It will be entering into a large tube. A large tube called as what? Large intestine. Large intestine. So from here, our excretion process will begin. Yes or no, ma? Yes? Yes or no? So this large intestine, it will be intestine. So the food is entering into the large intestine. So now, why we used to call this as a large intestine? Because it is a wider tube, wide tube. That is what you should remember. That is why we should call it as a large tube. Understand? So these walls of this large intestine absorb most of the water from the undigested food with the help of villis. With the help of villis. So villis contains even large intestine also. Do you understand, Amma?
Large intestine.
Large intestine also contains villis.
Yes, sir.
So here the use of this villis is they will absorb the water from the undigested food. Do you understand, Amma? So due to this, what will happen? Yes, the undigested part of food becomes almost like a solid. Is it yes or no? Not, yes. I'm saying it is almost like a solid. Understand? So that is why the last part of the large intestine, which we used to call it as rectum. Understand? If we take in this large intestine with the help of villi, this will be absorbed the most amount of water and will turns into a almost solid. So if it comes to the end of this large intestine, we used to call a part called as rectum. What we should call, Amma? Rectum. This is only will stores the undigested food for some time, not permanently. Because suppose if you are eating undigested food is releasing, immediately we cannot go for bathroom. Is it any animal? It is not possible for any kind of animal. So we have to take certain time. Understanding? If not, we have to stay in bathroom itself. So that time this undigested food has been stored by a body part by end of this large intestine, who is called as rectum. Understand? Which will store the undigested food. You should note it down. Undigested food for certain time. Undigested food for certain time. So after that, understand, when we go to the toilet, what will happen? This, like in the sense of bathroom. So then this undigested food is passed out from our body. So that passed out only what we should call? Digested. What we should call? Digested from our body through the body part called as, what we should call as? Anus. Anus. Understand, Emma? Anus.
Yes, sir.
That is the thing. So that's all. So what will happen? So this anus, which even we used to call that.
The waste particles will not come to kidney.
What, Amma?
So waste particles will be stored in some area, no, sir?
That is called as rectum. It is not under kidney. Kidney in the sense of that is filtration of blood, not any other thing.
Okay, sir.
Urine secretion and all. Okay, Amma, that is next step. Okay, wa?
Okay, sir.
So you remember here, if you observe this anus we used to call a particular part of this anus we used to call as feces. F-A-E-C-E-S, feces, or we used to call as, understand, stool. S-T-O-O-L, stool, which is anus. Anus as stool. Feces or stool we used to call it as. So here, if you observe here, the act of this expelling these feces is only called as egestion or defecation we can call. Both are same. Egestion also we used to call it as defecation. All of you should note it down.
Sir, feces and stool are the other names of anus.
Other names of anus not. Anus contains these feces. They will expelling during egestion. Do you understand, Amma?
Okay.
That is. Now,
Yes, sir.
this exist of this feces or stool, again controlled by one, understand, like muscle, contraction and expansion, called as sphincter. But here this is called as anal sphincter. What we should call? Anal sphincter. Understand? This has been controlled. So this feces has been controlled by this anal sphincter. Do you understand, Amma? So these are the 5 stages which are present in our digestive system, and I hope you understand from mouth to the anus very clearly, and we have learned so many words also here. Is it yes? Feces or stool has been controlled again. Anal sphincter. Everything is important. If you want to score a full marks, we should know each and every part very perfectly. So here one more word you have learned just now. Egestion. Also we used to call it as what? Till now we know egestion. Also we used to call it as what?
Defecation.
Defecation. D-E-F-E-C-A-O-N. All of you should note it down. Defecation. Understand? So this is all about what is this called as? Digestion in beings. Understand? Digestion in human beings. So okay, do you understand or not?
Yes,
All of you.
Yes, sir.
So if you understand this, anything, if you want to note it down, you note it down. I will ask you one question. So if you are able to answer that question, then you understand this digestion process completely. Okay. See, but in exam, if it comes, for example, I need to show the diagram, correct? So we should explain with the diagram. I think it is there in our textbook. Can you able to see the alimentary canal diagram in our textbook? Yes. Now, if somebody will give you, yeah, it is there in page number. Can you say the page number? Now, do you want to, anybody wants to see the food pipe, how it will be present, like contraction and expansion? Do you want to see?
Yes, sir.
If you want to
number
see,
19.
okay. If you want to see, I will show you the inner side of the food pipe, as like how they have seen with the help of endoscope. You may see that ladies, those who are having some problem, they will go a treatment called as endoscope. Have you heard that? Endoscope. Endoscope is one of the treatment. Understand? So with the help of this endoscope, we have seen the inner side of the food pipe. This is only called as how this inside the food pipe is present. Is it okay, Amma?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
This
sir.
has been seen with this is real pictures. Understand? Real pictures which has been seen with the endoscope. Understand? That is what that is. So next one. So let us come to the page number. Page number Solra. What is that?
99.
90?
9.
94.
99, sir.
99, sir.
99, sir.
Okay. Page number 99. So you can see that first it will start with the mouth. So mouth contains what? Down. Mouth contains what? Buccal cavity. So that is what you should remember first. Okay.
Buccal
So next what?
Esophagus.
Esophagus.
Buccal cavity. So you can see here. So if you want, if you are feeling difficulty to take your textbook, then you can see this picture. You can take the screenshot. Everything will be completely mentioned in this picture. So you can observe here our mouth down. Understanding means here. This is called as tongue. So tongue below. Understanding our lower jaw. We have a glands called as, what is that glands? What is that gland? Salivary gland.
Salivary gland.
Opening is called as mouth. So this mouth contains what? Buccal cavity. Once the food is entering into here, understand, tongue. So tongue is reaches. You may notice it here, a common entrance. This is entrance for what? Air. Is it yes or no? That is why you can see why wanting times and all. Food will come through nose also. Yes or no? Have you noticed it? Wanting times some food will come through nose also. Yes. We will feel very worst, that is. Yes, sir. You are not facing the problem. Everybody. Okay. So now the food is entering into this tube. What is this tube is called as? Food pipe. So that food pipe is called as esophagus. Now food is entering into this esophagus. Now here if you will observe, we have a J-shaped one. What is that J-shaped one? Hey, this is a little bit fatty J. You don't think that another. So this J-shaped one is called as what? Stomach. Understanding? And we have here one leaf-like structure. What is this leaf-like structure?
Pancreas.
Understand? The pancreas will secrete the pancreatic juice, which contains three things. Can you say anybody fastly, Arvind? Pancreatic
amylase.
Like as well as it comes to the liver. Here we have a biggest body part, understanding a big part which is present, understanding called as liver. So liver will secrete what?
Bile juice.
Which is understanding. And also we have three functions totally now. Liver can stores the understanding. Liver can stores the extra food, digested food, which we used to call as, what is that food called as? Glycogen. And if you observe, the liver will secrete the bile juice, and here a small like spherical structure. Have you noticed it here? This is what we gallbladder. Gallbladder. So gallbladder, what is the use of gallbladder? Which will stores the
Bile juice.
So with the help of that only it is mixing in intestine. Do you notice it? Before entering into the intestine, here it is mixing. Have you noticed it or not?
Yes,
sir.
Yes, you may see that here. Gallbladder is mixing with this. Understand? The pipe is connected to the pancreatic gland. So both are mixing here. Understand? So now the food is entering into the small intestine. So this is inside whatever you are seeing. So this is only called as small intestine. So here we have understanding. Small intestine, again it will secrete what? Intestine juice, small intestine juice, so that complete food will be digested into small, simpler substances. So now here, undigested food, understanding. So through the capillaries, all the digested food will be absorbed, and undigested food will be absorbed by whom?
Large
Large intestine.
Large intestine. So from this large intestine, so this wise are this much big process, it can come directly here itself, means it needs to absorb the water. Yes or no? So it needs to absorb the water by the help of villis, and if it comes to here, a little bit large part is present. This is only we used to call it as what? A storage tank, like a drainage tank, rectum. So after that, whenever it is stored, the tank is filled, then through the anus it needs to come out. So this anus contains what? Anus contains what? Feces or stool, we used to call, which has been controlled by again anal sphincter for expansion and contraction. Expansion and contraction. So this is all about understanding digestion in human beings. Is there any doubt, anybody? You can ask me, please. Still today, so I hope you understand well. So
Yes, sir.
is there any doubt, Jesse? Okay. So
No,
Pranita
sir.
also joined.
No, sir.
Those who joined late, you have to complete it. Who is the absent is today? Pranav, Prince. Pranav Prince is absent. Prahasin is absent. Next, Vimal is absent. Next, who is Ra?
That's also.
That's
Sir.
all. No, still someone is there. Still
Sir,
somebody,
daily 21 people are there, sir.
still somebody is there.